Okay, Peter, I've got Chuck here. He's our main pad seal stuffer here at Vac York. He's been here with us for a few years. He's going to walk through real quick about stuffing pad seal in the corners, just so you can refer this on to Dennis and send him this video. So Chuck, take it away.
All right, as you see, I kind of already started with took a damaged piece of seal off, cut that, and I got a new strip of seal that I'm going to start with. And of course, I already got it going. Kind of overlapped it a little bit underneath. That way when I glue it, you know, I have a little bit more leverage. So when I pull it apart and glue it together, you know, you got more pressure because it's overlapped. So once I stuff it in, kind of keep it compressed and together. So that's just my start off. And of course, I went about 2 feet in already. So I'll go ahead and stuff it to about 6 inches before we get to the corners, and then I'll kind of demonstrate and explain how I stuff the corners. Of course, when I stuff, I use my body weight versus my arm because, you know, you don't want to tire yourself out too much. So I just kind of position it in a diamond angle, take my seal tube, and I just kind of push in with my body versus just using my arm just to save yourself. Okay, now come on the opposite side and just push that inside in. And you may use your arm muscle more for the inside, but you know the main part is the outside.
Now, how far back, if they're going to replace the corner that they got in there, how far back
6
do they
inches.
go? 6 inches.
You want to be 6 inches from the corner.
Okay.
That way you give yourself leverage and you don't want the seams too close to the corners.
Right, you don't want the seams on the corners.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so now that we're at the corners,
Here's the tricky part.
this is the trick. So the main thing is to pull, get more, compress it together more, because you want this to be stuck real fitted and tight. And the best way to do that is to give yourself a little bit more slack. So I kind of take the seal and I may grab it maybe about within 6 inches or whatever, and I push in. So you see I'm kind of like, I got a little leverage. Like I'm compressing it a little bit, and I'll hold that steady. And then that's when I'll compress it in. And you want to do that all the way around. So like here, you don't want to just let it hang and just hold it and stuff, because it's going to pop out.
Yeah, that's what's happening for the customer right now.
So you want to like press in and put a little bit more than you normally would going on the sides. So again, I grab it close enough to where when you press in, you can hold steady. You know, you press here, it's not gonna do nothing. You'll be just
too far
flopping off. So I grab it, press in, kind of diamondize it a little bit. And then again, I still use my body weight. And another thing is, like with me, before I even finish the corners, I just literally keep going over it. I just keep stuffing, you know, until I feel like, okay, that's in enough, and then I'll go to the inside, same thing. Press that in, and then I'll continue the same strategy. I mean, I literally take it a couple of inches by inch, just to make sure.
Make sure there's enough material in there.
Yep, it's the same thing. I grab it, push it in. And kind of when I get to the point where I got just a small part of the corner left, I literally go right back over it again. And here, as you see, I'm holding it from the opposite side while I'm stuffing. This is to make sure you're getting enough of that seal in. So I'll kind of like push forward as I'm stuffing. Push forward, stuff, stuff, stuff. And then I'll do that same thing on the opposite side. I kind of push forward, stuff. And you can hear that little pop, those pops.
Right.
That kind of indicate that you're stuffing more in there.
Yeah, and the H-Lock, it pops real good when
Yep.
you put in there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the H-Lock's what they have right now.
Yep.
This is all square, and we usually use the all square on the smaller
Small
diameters.
pan.
And the larger ones, like you've got there with Dennis, would use the H-Lock would be the better one.
And I will say with the H-Lock, once I get around my corners, and you go over it several times, small little,
Like I said, we're just doing this live, so no problem.
I mean, I don't like beat it crazy,
Yeah,
but if you got a small rubber hammer, this is kind of like the closing
Yeah.
of your stuff in the seal.
on the H-Lock.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
H-Lock.
Yeah.
Because you know H-Lock got that crease in it.
Right.
So you can stuff it in, it'll look good, but you take a little small rubber hammer and just, you don't have to go crazy, just tap around it. Because you'll notice you can kind of look from the side, and no matter how good you stuff, you give it a little love tap with a little rubber hammer, and you'll see it go down even more.
Wow, okay.
So that's like my trick to make sure that H-Lock is really in there. I take a little rubber hammer and I go back over my work. I mean, I'll go around the whole pad,
Yeah.
but definitely the corners.
That's
just to
good
make
advice.
sure.
See, that's when I learned. I didn't even know that one. I've been here 10
Yep.
years, 11
Yep,
years.
I literally, I keep the hammer when I'm done.
Yeah.
And I usually wait till I'm done. That way I can just go over the whole pad.
Perfect,
And
perfect.
kind of tap it, you know, I don't want to just, I don't bang it too hard, I don't want to damage
Yeah,
the pad.
right,
but
right, but-
it'll definitely help out,
Yeah.
get that pad seal back deep,
Great,
more
great.
deep in depth. So again, I'm at the last part, same thing. Grab it about a couple of inches away where you're gonna stuff, push it in. And again, you see the little bulge, and that's just telling you you got a lot stuffed in there. That's why it's important to come on that opposite side
Yeah.
and make sure you get that squeezed in just as tight as you do the front side. And you don't have to love tap too much with the regular square seal,
Right.
because it goes in a
Yeah.
little different than the H seal, but
Yeah.
every blue moon, I'll give it a little tap just to make sure. But that's the key. But like we just explained, once you get that pressure and get that in, go over it a couple times. I pretty much just go over it, and I go over it till I feel comfortable that okay, and then I give it the test. Because the main thing is when you're done stuffing and you feel like, and it keeps coming out, or customers say that, before it leaves me, I want to give it that test. This is my test right here.
See if it comes out or not.
Go around it, chop it, and just make sure it's not going to easily
Yeah.
pop out.
Gotcha.
So that'll be my test to know, okay, that stuff pretty good. Then I'm still gonna go over it a little more just to make sure. And again, with the H seal, after you've done all that, then this is my last resort, right here. I just give it a little love tap around the corners. I'll go around the sides also. I'll go around the whole pad like I explained. And another little test. And that's pretty much it.
Okay,
So-
guys. Well, there you got it from the expert, the VacuWorks pad seal stuffing expert, without a doubt. So I even learned something today. I hope this helps you guys. We're in the Netherlands or Belgium, wherever you guys are working with Dennis, and it should fix your problems. Thanks, Chuck.
All right, thank you.